Yes, people, we need to get this one started without wasting much of your time. I would say embarrassing, but I'm not going to blame the whole team. It's embarrassing, well, shocking, and a glaring reminder of what we really need to improve this team. But before I do that, I'm going to say hello to those of you following the show on Instagram. Be sure to follow the account on Instagram so whenever we go live, you don't miss out. And I'd advise you to come join us on Facebook, on YouTube, even if you're following the show on Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, or maybe on Facebook, so you get a chance to win our Christmas giveaway. You get to win at least a $50, but be sure you have cash. You use Cash App or you have a PayPal account to make it easier for you to get your cash prize. Happy holiday, coach. Nothing to be happy about anymore. Christmas officially ruined today, or maybe cancelled. I think Mauricio Pochettino should leave the club. We are moving from bad to worse. This unbelievable and embarrassing. I cannot believe what you just witnessed. This is not Chelsea. And please do not tell me happy holidays again. Nothing to be happy about. I'm very choked. Do you think I'm celebrating this, Latif? Amateur hour. That's Constantine. I'm not going to even say your name there. Like I said, from start, this lineup could backfire badly, and it did. But here's the thing. You could also go back to the argument we created a lot of chances, but did not take our chances. But that's, by the way, even last 10 minutes, when we were in the game, thanks to Nkunku, the structure, the organization to get an equalizing goal was non-existent. Honestly, lots of questions to be asked of the manager from now on. Oscar says we're crap. Bring Badiashile on for that lot, at least send him forward, use his height and his passing range, actually. Some long balls to him in the air, and never knowing, but nothing from coaching. We still have like 5-6 players in the defense. I'm crying. Sorry about that, Oscar. Hopefully they sack Poch. Okay, let's see what happens. Don't tell me Merry Christmas again. There's nothing merry about this Christmas anymore. Stop with this nonsense. Saying sack Poch. I'm not sure where I stand right now. Another embarrassing performance. The only light was Nkunku scored. Other than that, you can say a shambolic performance. I'll come to everyone in a bit. You want us to have a new coach every 6 months. I don't think that will solve our problem, if we're being honest. So I'm going to skip a few comments here. And Undertaker, big up game day, Poch out. Okay, let's see. Sorry, and big up the chat. Big up to you too, DJ. You missed our members only halftime show. And here we have cannot build a team like this. And on Instagram, Komalu, blessings, my Chelsea brothers. The team is finished sadly. Season is lost. We just got to play and see where we go. I think I agree with that one. Cannot build a team like this. We cannot. Why are people crying? Yeah, we won 50 million, didn't we? Today it's players' fault. I would say that. Execution is the name of the game. Let me start it for Roger this time. Oh, exactly. There, coach. Oh, there, Mitchy boy. Mitchy, I'm going to still big you up, even though that option. I can't use my soundboard right now. I have to add it. But Mitchy, nice to see you, brother. Make sure to share the link of to your channel so people can go check it out. I want you to get to 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible. If you can, click the 3 dots to Michi Boy's name. Click go to channel and go subscribe. An excellent content creator. For me, no more Christmas backgrounds. Christmas is ruined. In all honesty, Poch is the season today all wrong. You could argue that, but execution is the name of the game. I'm not even surprised. Terrorism lying the bottom ball and we lose. Yeah. Big up, guys. I beg Clown Lake to give 10 days off to these players, and they gave everything today. HMV TV, what they use to bring on Badiashile when not to learn on the mistake he made. Yeah, I don't think we needed a defender, actually. We needed more attacking players. Of course, it's not on players well, but for me, Poch started Broya, Poch started Stalin, Poch started Jackson, etc. Yeah, I think a lot of questionable decisions there, but the execution is the name of the game. Big up everyone. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. We need the goal, but the coach bring on the defender. That shocks me. Chelsea is the relegation team right now. Emotions are running high, but keep dropping the likes. If Stalin buried his chance and Jackson buried his, Broya buried his, I don't think we'll be losing this game. So execution is the name of the game. I wouldn't even talk discipline. Yeah, that's another thing. Big up to you, to Santiago Mono. Let's see what else we have here. Saying I got a 1K sub yesterday. Congratulations to you. Do you speak about football? Jackson needs to be dropped and loaned out in January. The man is an embarrassment off front. I think right now I am inclined to say that's the case. Santiago, let's see. Chelsea will be beaten by Wolves. A true story. Poor Christmas. Christmas is officially cancelled and ruined, in my opinion. Broya, useless is useful, but nobody will talk about it. Let's talk about over. You have every right to call out any player you want to call, but let's do that objectively. Elaborate. Why are you smiling? Jackson Broya got enough today. Yeah, my goodness. For me, it's not about the coach really. The players won't score the goal alone. And first half, the two strikers were really bad. I agree. Even the Carabao Cup, just forget about it. Maybe this needs to happen for us to react in the Carabao Cup. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Broya, all right. Listen, he missed a chance, but we shouldn't be missing the sort of chances we missed today. Jackson is not ready for Premier League. He was horrible, in my opinion. Roger Dodger, not to blame Broya. The guy was playing out of position. Unless Poch made it a 4-4-2 formation, he was practically that. Yeah, but he did that. I think he was practically 4-4-2 formation, but more a fluid approach. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Anything else? And DJ saying big up Constantino, Merry Christmas to everyone, but nothing merry about this Christmas anymore. Roger, let's hear you. Your observation. To me, let me give you a head start here. Execution. You can't argue, because had you taken our chances in the first half, I think we'll be discussing a different outcome right now. But let's hear you, Roger.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of execution and decision making, or lack thereof. Um, listen, Sterling, the first 15, 20 minutes, he was aggressive. He went by people, went to the byline, crossed it in. He did well. That's being honest.
However, I believe you, and I know you're saying the truth.
Yeah, however, he's going down way too easy. That card, that wasn't a yellow card, by the way. That was a pretty poor decision.
It was a coming together.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't a flop. He didn't dive. However, he goes down time and time again. He makes.
Just quickly, can we appeal that, or you think that's it? He misses the next game.
Yeah, no, I think it's appealable. It's up to the club, because it's going to go to a panel. But honestly, he's like Pulisic, but worse. You know, he goes down way too easy. It's unacceptable. And obviously, when you've got two players to your right, you just pass it. They were not offside. It's a tap in, but he doesn't. You know, it's now I understand if the keeper goes down prematurely, got it wide open, but he hits it right in the gut of the keeper. If the keeper has already gone down prematurely, as I said, then I have no problem you scoring from there. But you only pass the ball. You don't pass the ball only if the keeper has gone down and it's a wide open goal for you. That wasn't the case. I mean, that's another thing. Jackson, yes, he didn't execute. He should have scored there. A clinical number 9 or any forward scores there. But that's not my issue with him. We've said that he's not a number 9. He's better playing out wide. But today he proved.
And today
Roger
has an evidence has good evidence to judge him. Admissible, so to speak. We'll go to say also. Go ahead.
Exhibit A, Your Honor. You know, seriously. With the ball, he was pathetic. He's not technical. The ball is constantly under his feet, just like Sterling. Do you know what that is? That's an indication of a non-technical player, because he doesn't have a good first touch. It's that simple, time and time again. I've seen enough of him. What have we played? Like 22 games this year? He's played like 20. At this present moment in time in his career, he's not good enough to play in the Premier League. I don't think there is one team. If we said we will give you away for free, I don't think there's. He doesn't start for any top 10 team in the Premier League. Top 15 maybe. He's not good enough. No disrespect, coach, but for you to keep on insisting he's our top scorer, yeah, that's because that's a misleading stat. It's very misleading. So let me ask you a question. Do you think he is able to head that ball in when Nkuku received?
No,
Does
even
he
what
have
I've seen, probably you'll find it in Ireland, not even in the UK,
Yeah,
in England proper, so to speak. But go ahead with what you were saying, Roger.
So you look at Nkunku and you see his technical ability, aerially speaking. You can say the same with Palmer. Also, Silva, very technical aerially. The rest, for the most part, are inept aerially. Just being honest with you. And they're not to a high standard. Then let's talk about, listen, do we not repeat this each and every week? We must take our chances and we cannot afford errors at the back. And coach, there were errors aplenty. It was contagious.
A lot. I agree.
The first goal we conceded, their scorer never left the ground. Just Leslie Ugochukwu is marking him. His wrong side of him. He never left the ground. He headed it with both feet on the ground in the 6-yard line box. That's unacceptable, coach. He got burnt. He made mistakes. So did Disasi. He left his marker and went. Disasi had a pretty poor game. Colwell didn't look good. Gallagher didn't look good. You know my thoughts about Sterling and Jackson. Broja, no, he didn't exactly cover himself in glory. But as I said, he needs about 10 plus games to see what he's made of, to play himself into form. Gusto, not bad, but the errors, the actual errors were incredible. There's about 4 or 5 that every single one. And Badiashile, I mean, he couldn't set his feet. This is schoolboy errors, coach. This is unacceptable. We lose the game. They didn't win it. We lost it. Let's put it that way.
It's clear, yeah, because we had the chance in the first half. We started better than they did, but they changed things around. And that's the aspect I want to ask you the question, Roger. Did the manager do everything right? I get it. Mainly execution is the name of the game. And in terms of our approach, it looks like he had no answer to how when you can say when Wolves came alive. He had no solution to that, in my opinion.
Well, so here's the deal. I honestly, and you know what I believe. Listen, the coach / manager sets a team up with formation, with strategy, and obviously is responsible for substitutions, etc., and the choice of players. But when it comes down to a player not passing the ball inside, the 12-yard line for a tap in, or doesn't bloody execute, in front of goal all alone, you can't blame the coach for this. It's simple as that. These players are paid to execute. You can't blame the coach for the defensive players gifting the ball and conceding goals. You cannot put this on the coach's shoulders or the owners. This is pure and simple. This belies. This falls on the players. Period. It's that simple.
Something else. Let's talk about that. Raheem Sterling's decision making, poor decision making, awful. You can say ridiculous because it's beyond ridiculous. He's played under Pep, and Pep's teams are known for always looking for the best position player once they get to the final third. That's why they score a lot of goals. He had 2 teammates waiting for him. It's either he passed it to one of them. I can't tell who was quite the closest. Or you round to the keeper because the space was there.
Or the keeper goes down prematurely and the goal opens up for you. Then you do it. That's the only time you do it is when those 2 players on your right is cut off. And that didn't transpire. He hit it straight at the torso, lower torso of the keeper. It's inexcusable, coach. And
from our most experienced player, and after Lukaku, the top end of the player that earns the most in terms of salary.
Coach, it's unacceptable.
It is.
That changes the game. So does Jackson's miss. Let's be honest. This was a tap in, I think if Nkunku's there, I think he scores.
Yeah.
I think if Kane is there, he scores. I could continue. Would you like me to continue?
Timo Werner would put it away.
Oh,
Werner would put that
wow.
chance away.
Yeah, it's
Because Werner's only problem was dealing with players one-on-one. Once it's
Yeah,
one-on-one
yeah,
with an
yeah.
opponent, he gives them the ball away. But in terms of putting away chances that you put on the plate for him, he put it away.
Yeah, and the other thing I have to stress is the fact that in the last 15, 20 minutes or so in the first half, we were inviting pressure by us not being able to hold on to the ball. You had players like a Jackson, like a Sterling, that couldn't hold the ball up, giving it away straight away, which then precipitated the fact that Wolves were able to attack immediately, by the way, not a slow build up, because their players were already there from the previous corner. And guess what? They were throwing balls in. We were defending it, went out for another corner. Add water, rinse, repeat, just constantly. That was unacceptable. Unacceptable. We invited the pressure onto ourselves. I thought the keeper played quite well. He saved a good ball. I thought he had a solid game. You can't
He did
put this,
well, in my opinion. He did well. And had it not been for his sweeper keeper behavior in the first half, we could have considered earlier in the game.
He read the ball very well. I thought he had a very good game. This is his first start.
We were the players, the outfield players let him down, in my opinion.
Yes, you can't put any of those goals on him. You know, yes, he didn't dominate his box aerially, but you didn't have to. If you actually defend with your head and you actually defend, I'm sorry, Disasi and Leslie Wachuku were very poor defending today. Very poor. It was unacceptable. These were schoolboy errors. You know, you basically allow your marker to head the ball inside the 6-yard line with both feet planted. What does that tell you? That's unacceptable. It's those kind of things. It's the basics, the fundamentals, and these things were never covered. These things we were we were exploited. We just had too many errors. I think the confidence is low on certain players. Listen, even Thiago Silva, you know, the first few seconds in the second half made an error. It was contagious, and we've seen this week in, week out, Coach. We may have to come to the realization that these players defensively aren't good enough, because if you have 3 or 4, 5 players that are constantly, consistently making mistakes like this. I watch other games, Coach. You very rarely see a team this consistently have players that make this many basic, fundamental schoolboy errors. We may have to come to the realization that these players actually may not be ready to play in the Premier League. And I'm being serious. I'm not being.
And here's where my biggest concern is that it's looking as if low confidence is creeping in gradually.
Yeah, for sure.
If that doesn't change, then it would take 2 things: either you overhaul the team again, or you fire the manager, and that would compound our situation.
Yes, I don't think it's a managerial issue thus far.
I don't think so either, because like you always say, the name of the game is execution.
Yeah, or lack thereof.
Yeah, well, like thereof. Let's keep those in the chat, the microphone. I'll come back to the panel. We have a lot to talk about, and here's the thing: as much as I think execution is the name of the game, I think the manager, is a bit too cautious, in my opinion. Tickets, come get yours. I know what you're saying there, but I'm not on it yet. I'm considering it now. I still have to see more. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Boxing Day sell. Yeah. Please don't appeal. He's saying please don't appeal Raheem Sterling's suspension so that we'll see a better player start. I think Mihailo Mudryk should have started the game. Reward his performance against Newcastle United, because those things can lead to player not giving their best, being disappointed, and by the time they come on, they're not going to be ready to perform. Because they think after, if you ask me, I'd say Mudryk probably thought he was going to start this game, in my opinion. Sack all the players and the manager. This is unacceptable. Everyone is a disgrace to CFC. Terry, 14 OD. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. And don't forget, we're going to do a giveaway. So if you're following the show on Instagram or Facebook or on Twitter, formerly known as X, you'd be better off joining us on on YouTube here because we'll do a Christmas giveaway. The second one and then the third one on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, whatever we decide. But please be sure you have a PayPal account, or maybe you have someone can help you get it with what's it called, Cash App and everything, the easier ways. Let's see what else we have here. Ishola Ade, my Niger brother, I'm quite sure, says, hey, useless manager. Wow. Chelsea have missed 36 of the 56 big chances this season, more than any other club. That is a concerning. That is a concerning statistics, which shows you not down to the manager. I get it; he's not been perfect, but this shows you with the greatest chances. And our biggest problem is that we don't put away our chances. Hopefully that changes as Nkunku has joined us like that. And that Middle Eastern, Roger, just highlight that. I'll come back to you if you want to speak about this. Let me highlight it. I'll remind you, please. Let's catch up with what we have in the chat. Chelsea have missed. Yeah, we've read that. It's a concerning, a telling stat. Starling, yeah, let's hear you. And nice to see you again. And Selmo, I hope you're well. It's been a minute. I hope the case is that you've been busy. ADS, he says, Mbamshi Kennedy says, game was so middle. How every game, if Pochettino starts the game, we lose every game. Wow. I don't think it's down to him alone, because had we been clinical, the story would be different. Sack Poch today, let's see what happens. I'm going to scroll past quite a few to get other contributions in the chat. The slow mode is not on, and people has a lot to say. Make sure you drop the like on the stream, people. We cannot have nearly 90 people watching and have just 24 likes. We should be doing better than that. I know we lost, but to support the community and the fact that, I should be so mad, and the panelists should be so mad, we should be sleeping right now, but we want to have a conversation with you as Chelsea fans. Please do show us some appreciation by liking the video. I get it, we're lost, but you're supporting the community by doing that. Jackson and Stalin are the problems. Chris, Mahim one, thanks. Nice to see you all. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping likes on the stream. My club died with Roman. Wow. We feel Swansea right now. You could argue that's the case. The coaching must have worked harder on set piece during the week, knowing that we struggle. But I think you're being sarcastical here. You're talking about our own team. No consistency in this team. Yeah, that is expected, but this isn't good enough, in my opinion. Fans are really getting tired with CFC board. Do I think the board is the issue right now? I'd say no. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along with the one trying to get a one in. Let's see. I am going to sit in with you guys today. Let's suffer this Christmas together. Mansa Musa, suffering indeed. Christmas has officially been cancelled, in my opinion. Nothing merry about this Christmas anymore for me. People, you can blame Poch. Chelsea could have had 5 goals in the first half. Yeah, that's why, given that, we shouldn't blame the manager. Was it perfect? I'd say no. Another Christmas has been ruined because of those arrogant, what they call them there. And Roger, now it's Poch's fault. I don't think so, in my opinion. Chelsea played better than I thought they would. Yeah, that's the clap. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. I'll try to highlight some of your comments there as we progress. Sir, did Phil leave? I think Phil left the panel. Bobby, let's hear you before I go back to Roger. Your brief. So again, can you let's hear your opinion or your observations from the game briefly before we start asking the specific questions on player performances and the manager's decisions in some cases. But Bobby, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Coach. I missed the second half. I saw their goal. And because I had visitors who are still here, and I've had to sort of run away to talk to you. Listen, look, we expect this. We're going to go through suffering, as we keep saying. The inconsistencies are definitely going to happen. However, from that first half, there were things that are just unforgivable. People say Jackson lacks confidence. Yes, I understand that, but his touch was just absolutely dreadful. I don't know what continued to happen that we couldn't equalize. I think we even went 2 down at one point. And
Yeah.
I believe Nkunku got one back. I don't know, how was that goal? Can someone tell me?
It was a well-taken goal, and just
okay.
But the truth remains, Jackson isn't good with his head. Had it been Jackson, even if the goalkeeper wasn't there, even if you extend the height of the goalpost 10 feet more, he still missed it. You know
Yeah, I
he's not
mean,
good heavily, but go ahead.
so I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? You know, you're building, you have young players, you have injuries, you have people coming back from injuries. All these things have worked against us. And what is exposing is that we must be again ruthless in the transfer market, in the attacking third. You know, we need a striker. I don't know what Brozier's doing. He's not helping himself. Yes, he's coming back from injury, you know, but unfortunately, that could be the bane of his career. As I keep referencing Daniel Sturridge, he was one player that every time he had his opportunities at Chelsea, he went off injured. And when he did come back, he was busy trying to get form because of injury. And eventually, he couldn't make the grade. Certainly not at Chelsea. Barely did he do it at Liverpool. He was just a squad player at Liverpool. And sadly, I can see that happening to Brozier because he looks to me like somebody that won't be fit for long, which is really sad because I have a lot of faith in the ability I believe he has, but we can't keep waiting for that. So we are where we are. You know, sooner or later, Pochettino has to have the courage to be benching Thiago Silva. I don't think it's helping us anymore. You know, we can't persist with something that we know is deteriorating. I know it's tempting, but we must start the replacement process now. And with Badiashile on the bench and Thiago playing, I don't see the value in that, to be honest, especially in a game like this.
But
It's poor. You
Bobby,
know, it's yeah.
Silver wasn't the problem today. It
He's
was
not the
not.
problem, but it
No.
didn't help.
Well,
It didn't help. Shall I tell you why?
the goals, the
The
goal errors.
goal that came
Richard,
Go on.
because
let him drop. Then you can comment.
I, I'll just land. The goal that came because people could say because of Ugochukwu, and I would understand it because he was marking the guy that scored more or less. I
Mm.
sincerely believe that a physical, more authoritative centre back would have stepped forward and taken that header. It lingered in the air for too long to have been left, and that's why the Wolves player Lima came in, just stole in and nodded it in. You know,
And
it
that was
was just
Disassi.
it- well, whoever. No, I thought Disasi had a man he was marking in
You
that
know, I'm saying
situation.
he was close to the scorer and then took another player when the ball flew
Well,
over his head. But and it was
somebody.
left with he was left with Leslie there. So it's two of
Well,
them.
I'll
So
have to rewatch that. But it was
yeah,
all the back. There were too many silly decisions. It was very. It just shows lack of integration, lack of coercion, lack of maturity, and the rebuild. Should we have lost this game? No. This was a game that was for the taking,
yeah.
and we blew it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And how often do we
Just a
say that,
few
Bobby?
a minute or two. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat, Richard, then I'll come to you. But Richard, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear you wanted to interject.
No. I just wanted to say, how often do we say that, Bobby? It's every week, isn't it? For the
Yeah,
most
it is
part.
at the
Yeah,
moment. Yeah,
yeah,
and it will continue like that till next season.
yeah.
I
Probably.
Yeah.
just hope we can fluke a cup
Mhm.
and have something to feel proud about because at this rate we're just at best going to be mid-table.
Yeah, given what we're seeing, and the fact that this is not the first time we're discussing a game, we're discussing a game, the outcome of a game, and we have to always go back to the fact that we've not been we're not clinical in front of goal, and pretty much defines what we need to do to become better after the upcoming transfer window, and I think we have to do that as soon as January. With that, it's a few days to January, so I don't think Jackson. We need to do something in the market, and we cannot put the whole thing on Nkunku alone. Otherwise, the pressure will weigh him down because we're being that awful. Solid needs to be sold. Let's see what the club does here. We should have been 3 up, yeah, and that brings us back to the fact. I don't think it makes sense to just say the manager is the reason why we lost this game, because we created good enough chances, and have we been clinical in the first half and put away all the chances we had at the time, we'll be discussing a different outcome. You want to blame the manager? No. No, but I'm still saying he's not perfect. Such a poor display. I agree with you. Of course, you can put it on coaches. Should he choose players that are out of form to start? Also, bringing a body on for what a coach? Yeah, it's just that substitution doesn't make sense to me until maybe someone else explains, helps me understand why that was the case. And at this point, I'd say let's give David Washington a chance. We signed him for a reason, but we'll get to that in a bit. And Chelsea have too many players. It's very difficult for each coach, for the coach to get the best out of too many players. No, that's the list of our issues right now. We actually don't have enough. Broya and Jackson are so naive. Players who are not ready for the EPL. Why are they at Chelsea again? I do not know. Honestly, Michael New, Gallagher loves the ball in every position. Come on, let's stop this. He needs time off, to be honest. Yes, then. This is not this. I don't think you can say it makes sense to blame a single player. We were so awful that blaming a single individual, he wasn't perfect, but boy, he was one of our best players on the day, whether you like it or not. And I'll tell you, he's not my favorite Chelsea player. So many players are not good enough for us. Talk nothing to show and have nothing to show. Let's see the Sassi Paul yet. Poch keeps him on and gets Gusto off. Gusto was actually one of our better players going forward. He wasn't perfect, but he did good. But there are signs, what we're seeing, that show that, low confidence is slowly creeping in. And that's what concerns me the most. If that happens, this season will be worse off than last season. I hope that doesn't happen. But let's see what happens here. We have here the position that Gallagher plays is too crucial for him to be making these mistakes. Yes, then go look at the numbers again, in my opinion, especially after the first half. He was our top performer. Nobody else can close, especially after the first half. And boy, he did good. I have to be honest, even though I would tell you again, he's not my favorite Chelsea player. What do you mean they're not ready to play in the EPL? Have you not seen them perform against? I don't think. Yes, then we have good players. We have an excellent crop of players, but I get it. And if you understand football, the amount of changes we saw before the game, I did say clearly that this may well be the sort of game we'll be looking at, going, what are we doing here? And for some part of the game, it was like that. But we had the chance to put this game away in the first half.
Yeah, Coach, I don't buy that.
Go ahead.
I don't buy that. I'm sorry. Yeah, changes occur. Listen, changes occur, but if that was the case, then they wouldn't have been able to create the chances in the first place. They simply made the wrong decision, ergo my cousin, and obviously Jackson missing a sitter. You know, I'm sorry, I don't buy that. Then also, these are defensive players. They're good enough. They shouldn't be making these schoolboy errors. That has nothing to do with changing a player. Now, if you're playing in different formations and you're playing players out of position, that wasn't the case. Most of these errors came from people that play in their usual position. So I don't subscribe to that theory, with all due respect. These were executional errors.
That's why we're here, to have a conversation. I'm going to try to get to the very bottom, and I'm going to tell you these. Cash, not quite there yet, but I have questions. Olayemi Akanbi says Sterling should have passed that ball. I think we've talked about that at length. He should have. Eric Douglas, most stupid and annoying game ever. Watch out now. Yes, then. Nothing is merry about this Christmas anymore. It's ruined. And that's the sort of person I am. It's just that we have to host the show. We have to have the conversation. Proper V saying it's a personal issue. No doubt. Sacking the manager, I don't think it's a solution. I have to agree to that. Because if we're being honest, if you're saying the manager is a problem, then you're being disingenuous. That's just my argument. That's because we had the opportunity to put away this game. If anything, this game highlights areas that should be our priority come January. We need to sign, you can say, forwards. I don't care the profile of the forward, but sign people who are capable of putting away chances. We need some solid defenders. We'll get to that in a bit. If I've gotten your comment, I will skip your subsequent ones because I want to scroll to the very bottom there. Greetings from Ecuador. Nice to see you. Chelsea has no one to score the goal. We really miss Casado. You can argue. Hearts to you too if you're feeling bad. But that's very nice of you, and I sincerely do appreciate the hearts. You can say we missed him. Whether you think he's been not been at his best or not, we miss him. I think that's agreeable. CFC board is a part. Okay, let's move on. I've read many of your comments there. And Peter, Brad Peter, nice to see you. John Webb is saying if Sterling was playing for Man City, he would have. Yeah, exactly. And I think we've talked about that. He did. If he did that under Pep, he will miss the next 17 games. Yeah, but of course he's trying to meet his quota, his self-imposed quota, in terms of how many goals he wants to score by the end of the season. Okay, Mafam thinks Poch needs to go. I don't blame Poch. I don't blame him either. Let me see if I haven't gotten your comment. I'll try and do so. In Life No Limits says, greetings to you to the panel, and this team can make someone commit themselves to an asylum. Yeah, tell me about it, Stalin. Yeah, we have the gist here, the gist, whatever you want to call him. Bah humbug, what you say? Let me see. What is he saying, Roger? I know you'll be able to interpret that.
I wasn't watching. What happened?
It says bah humbug. Humbug. I'm not sure what that means.
Humbug. That's it's like a Grinch kind of thing. It's a Dickens kind of thing. It's
all right.
It's an old English expression, humbug.
All right, let's try and get to the very bottom quickly so that I can ask another question. We have good players, but coach, he doesn't have a top 11. Always changes everything. Yeah, you can say Brad Peter, chopping and changing hasn't been helpful. Let's see.
But coach, though, he's
had to.
Listen, you're playing, I think, 3 games in 7 days. You have to rotate every team from, the middle of the early December to the end
it's
of
a crazy
December.
period.
It's the crazy period. You have to rotate. Okay, it's simple as that.
But I have to say, this game looked as if Thiago Silva should have been rested.
He wasn't part of the problem. I keep on telling you that.
Yeah, he wasn't, but they all struggled. But I think you're correct.
It's execution. I think that's disingenuous, with all due respect, because Silva wasn't. They all made mistakes, multiple errors in midfield and the back.
Nobody was perfect today.
We're concentrating.
Nobody was good enough. Just go ahead, except Nkunku and Mudryk, the subs maybe.
Yeah, the tea lady was excellent, by the way. Listen,
whole club is rotten. Just 1 second. 2 billion medical department management overpaid prima donors like our former player Speedy said. There's no pride or passion representing anymore. Just throw in the pound sign. Yeah, the money. Wish I never watched this game. Christmas is ruined, and it's ruined. Nothing. We just hope for a better New Year. I see what Declan did there. He did an Ivan Toney. I have no loyalty for any of these players. Sell all of them. Selling all of them is not going to happen. It's okay. A win for us, Declan. Let's see. I came to live stream as you should. Cannot stay. Having dinner and stuff later this evening. No, nothing merry about this Christmas anymore. Merry Christmas to everyone here celebrating. Those who don't try and enjoy your week out off the charts. Indeed, we keep supporting our club. Just about to drive back, Dante. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Richie, go ahead. Anything else you want to talk about? I'm just going to scroll to the very bottom.
Yeah, I think we're concentrating too much on us not taking our chances. It's valid, don't get me wrong, but I think the greater discussion should be on the fact that we're making too many defensive errors. If we don't concede goals, we don't lose, period. Yeah, I'm looking through the prism, the lens of a goalkeeper, but it's the honest truth. It's just invariably we have so many defensive errors, and a lot of them are, they're not forced errors, they're unforced errors. And to me, that's the unacceptable thing. Listen, making a physical error like Badiashile did. Okay, it's bad. Mental errors are worse. However, this was something basic. This was a high schoolboy error, not setting your feet correctly. It's
You could say errors that come across as if their mind was their respective minds were elsewhere.
Disassi was poor today.
That one, I couldn't believe it. Was he on the pitch, or was he just his body and his soul wasn't there? But go ahead.
Disassi made errors slightly higher up the pitch. So did Leslie. It's just I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, okay, we've had our quota of errors, and give it a couple of minutes, another one pops up. It looked, honestly, it was quite embarrassing. If you've never seen this league before, you would say that was an amateur team. It was that bad. There were schoolboy errors. I cannot emphasize that enough defensively. Midfield was quite poor also, let's be honest, to a certain extent.
Yeah,
I think Leslie
couldn't keep the ball.
No, and then that's what led the precipitation of the amount of corners we conceded. And that was for the fact that, for instance, the people up front, especially Jackson, couldn't hold on to the ball, or we were making wayward passes that weren't necessary to do. And that basically led to more corners being conceded time and time again, the last 15, 20 minutes of the first half. It's just, to me, it's that shows a lack of experience, from certain players on the field. And that's what happens when you have such a youthful team. An experienced team wouldn't be doing that. They wouldn't be making these fundamental errors.
Let me ask you this, Roger.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Is there any part of the reason you feel like we're lost that you blame on the manager at all?
You know what? Had the players executed correctly and made the right decisions, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So I would.
And that's the truth, yeah. But I want you to make a clear case why nobody should be blaming the manager for anything.
Because I believe that once these players cross that white bloody line, it's up to them to execute. It's that simple. Period. Do you understand? It's that's it. So then should we praise Pochettino for Petrovic saving that penalty? No. He had nothing to do with the penalty save. Correct? It was the goalkeeper.
Yeah, very correct.
It was the execution. This is what I'm trying to say. Listen, managers get way too much credit when they win and way too much blame when they lose. I say this week in, week out. But to put this on the coaching staff and Poch, no, that I'm sorry. That's unacceptable, because these players, they've made a couple of mental mistakes, but these players made physical errors that led to goals and led to us conceding more corners and free kicks. The pressure was that had nothing to do with the manager, coach. Nothing.
Yeah. We just need to clarify that. Bobby, I'm going to come to you. See any reason, or you said the slightest of reasons to blame the manager for what we witnessed today? I'd still go back to we've been clinical in front of good. So I am agreeing with Roger. I don't know whether Roger, did I do a tapping on you or did you do a tapping on me? Because I'm not quite sure what happened.
You really went there.
But the point is, had we been clinical, I think we'd be discussing a different outcome right now. But I still say, in my opinion, some decisions are questionable, in my opinion, such as who started and who was on the bench. Let's start from there. But again, had we won this game, had we been clinical, like we've already talked about, I don't think people will be questioning the manager's decision making. But Bobby, let's hear you. Do you see any reason to blame the manager for us losing today? Bobby, you there?
It's going to take you a while to unmute.
All right, yeah, it will take him a while to unmute. Let me get some of the stuff we have in the chat. Poch isn't the problem. The players, I think, to some extent, Poch in, Stalin out, Breuer out. Okay. Francis, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Jackson just picks up so many bookings unnecessarily. That's another problem. And that's why
also Palmer. I'm sorry, Palmer. Yeah, that was unacceptable.
Palmer to even Gusto unnecessarily. That's why whenever I talk about these players, I say kids will always be kids. That's what you get. Brookings, I thought Poch had the word decision. Had the word decision making all game poor. I thought the game plan was shoddy, but it's not all on Poch. Whole club has to shine light on itself. We have to find a solution to that. What you were saying, people wonder why I dislike Sterling. Never consistent, has never led by example. At the top, you said the players that earns the most at the club, we expect him to be consistent, and that hardly happens. Gallagher can be sold. It wouldn't be a big loss. Let's see what the club does. Well, you have every right to feel like that. The fact that Sterling didn't pass the ball to Palmer, that one I nearly threw up. I have to be honest. That was unbelievable. You won't really change Poch. Okay. Let's say he's in Chelsea's material. He's not even academy material. I wouldn't blame him, and I think he did well enough. In my opinion, he did well enough. And we got what when he went off, actually. What? Let's look at you.
He had a poor game.
I can't just blame him for everything that happened, because the truth remains, he had a good first half overall. Had we been clinical, nobody will actually check how well he did or not. But I think we're used to finding who to blame every time we lose again.
Let's be honest.
He's still very young too. Yeah. You're talking about he's still 19, right?
Yeah, 19 months and I think 19 years and 8 months, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Poch selects the wrong lineup. White bench Casado. Casado was ill. That's why you didn't see me even on the bench. But Sheila,
sack him because his players sick. Yeah, sack him. Jesus Christ.
Stalin would have scored. Chelsea fans wouldn't be talking about Pochettino. Here's the thing. Even if had he scored that goal, I'm not the type to say, well finished. I'd still tell you that was risky, because the better option almost always will still be square the ball to your teammate for an open net.
Yeah,
it's a simple thing for football, really. But I'm not sure what he was thinking there. If I have read your comment, I'm going to skip a few of your comments there. Sanya Sarah says, fake captain will always play without a captain. Okay, let's see what I see, Javi. I'm going to get a few comments here. Not everybody's comments. And Schwab saying Stalin needs to go. You know, a lot of people will be on him today for that one. Stalin, how do you go home and look at? I'm not reading that. The forwards don't even put the ball into the rainbow. Yeah, William, nice to see you. The coach is not the problem, but the players. I think I agree with that one. Do I think the coach has been perfect? I'd say no. Let's see anything else to address here. Palmer doesn't trust Broya and Jackson, and I don't blame you. You can't argue that's the case, but give them the ball. Let alone you create a chance and they don't put it away. Badia should have come on and give Wolves a goal on necessary substitution. If I'm honest, I'm not going to blame him for that. In all honesty, I would ask Poch. Let's move on. If I've read any of your comments, I will skip a lot to get to the very bottom. For me, Gallagher needs to go picks up way too many cards. And I think, yes, we've talked about that before. My argument is that the more he plays, the more polished he'd become. The more experience he is, the more...
Actually, his yellow was a bit dodgy. I don't think that was
really... say, that wasn't a yellow in my opinion. Yeah. That was Hatch.
Neither was Sterling's, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, because Sterling's wasn't a dive, it was a coming together.
Yeah.
By
the way,
go ahead.
By the way, the Sky, who broadcast the game today, they put up a statistic that Chelsea, I think, is leading the league in big chances missed. We lead the league by 2. I think
we've actually talked about that during this particular show. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's this illustrates the fact that, guess what? If you have players that are clinical, that are able to take their chances, you can't blame this on a coach or a manager. They are not there to kick the ball, to head the ball. This is what the players do. So obviously his coaching strategy / formation / tactics is good enough to create these chances, but it's the players that aren't able to execute the end product. So to say that you want to blame it on the management / coaches, that there's proof that that's not the case.
just to say something we've already talked about differently, maybe. If we're clinical, if we're being clinical the whole season, given how many big chances we've created, we just maybe see something we did see under Frank Lampard. We concede, but we'll outscore the opponent. It's simple as
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
it's
but that's to show you how bad we've been in front of goal. Because yeah, I get it. We've had defensive issue, and I think Roger, you and I, even when we had the best defensive record at the start of the season, you and I were still saying there were issues there, but we've been
yes.
lucky not to concede goals. So the truth remains. I think we'll start by saying, yeah, we've not been clinical in front of goal, because that will make a whole lot of difference. Goals change games. Go ahead.
Yeah, and conceding goals change games also. So
Yeah.
I strongly believe that listen, I'm being biased here, but my biggest concern is the fact that we're conceding too many because of errors made. That's my number one concern, more than our inability to score. Because if we
Would you say
don't,
the issues stem from the midfield, for lack of proper protection in the midfield? And remember, Roger, we did talk about,
yes and
especially.
no.
Yeah, but
Yes
go
and
ahead. Yeah,
no.
go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I understand why you're bringing up the midfield. Sometimes that is the case, but today that wasn't. This was just pure, unadulterated centre-back errors, schoolboy errors. So I don't believe that that was the case. You can say that, if our midfield does their job, that guess what? Our centre-backs would never be in a position to defend in the first place. It wouldn't be required to, so no, that's not the case in this regard. Did the midfield and has the midfield been an error on occasion? Yes, undoubtedly so. There's no doubting that. I don't question that at all. However, the majority of goals that we've conceded based on our errors, and a lot of them are unforced errors, is from our back line coach.
Yeah. And guys, do not forget, we'll still do our giveaway for today. And then the last one will be on New Year's Eve, mostly. You rotate. And I think that the particular show on that day, I'd like, no, it's not possible. Probably use New Year's Day. We have prayers at now 12 a.m. So I can't do a show today. Otherwise, my wife will be filing for a divorce. You rotate smartly. You rotate smartly and not away from home to a hostile environment. That argument makes sense to me, but
No,
I'm still not
because
going
you have to rotate.
But still,
You have to rotate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of you're playing 3 games in 7 days, I believe it is. You have to. Your players
You
can't.
have to, definitely.
Yeah.
It's crazy now. And Mabat, nice. I see you. I didn't just skip your comment. I can't read everything because we clearly look better attacking with them. And Waldo, I like Gallagher, but I hate it when he makes a stupid tackle. That one wasn't really stupid, really. I think he was unlucky and gets carded and then complains about it. I think he will improve from time. Coach cannot really blame Poch today. Players where if Sonnen passes that ball, you can say, yeah, we'll be talking about a different outcome right now. Why did Poch have to bring on Badiashile instead of Lavia? I just don't know what happened there. Why Gallagher captain? Listen, the captain, who wears the captain armband doesn't really matter to me, honestly. Let's see what else we have here. Anything else to address? Otherwise, I'm going to skip to the very bottom. Pochettino needs to organize another barbecue. Oh my goodness. Keep dropping the lights on the stream, people. We had nearly 90 people watching at one time and we have just 50 likes. We should be doing better than that. And remember, we will do a Christmas giveaway and you get a chance to win at least $50. And if you win, if you have a PayPal account, you get your money as soon as today. If you're in the US where you use Cash App like this, after the show, you get your Cash App price. So if you're on Facebook, on Twitter or Instagram, come join us here on YouTube and be sure to subscribe. This is Excuse FC Santiago Woodard. There are only a couple of players who are serious at this club. The rest are pretenders to be actual pro footballers. Wow. Pachula trying to do a patch-up job on Poch. Let it snow, coach. Let it snow. It's never going to snow for me anymore. The Christmas is ruined for me. We could have 91 goals a year Messi in the squad and will still not score goals. That's some argument right there. So I'm going to skip quite a few. Bro Poch should stop saying project. Bajashi, they come on and give a goal. I'm not sure. I'll rewatch that, but I'm not sure we should be blaming him. Why Gallagher captain? That doesn't really matter, in my opinion. Let's see anybody here that I have read their comment. John Webb, I've read your comment. Let's see any of the OGs here has something to say. Roger clearly has a soft spot for wines. Wow. If you're in the chat and you're a member, that is a member, we have memberships. That doesn't mean the other members of the community aren't important. But paid members, we have a group on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can come up there. We do members only. Members only. First time show, halftime shows. You don't want to miss that. And somebody, Kim So on Instagram saying it's a typical Chelsea. Their club, you're tired, Kim So. And the other day, JC was arguing maybe you found a girlfriend. That's the reason why we're not seeing you anymore. But you do join the show on Instagram. The longest that rubbish team spent in the opposition box was when Nkunku stood over the ball looking for a run, and nobody made a run. But finally, Cole Palmer did make a run. I really want to enjoy my Christmas, Roger. Just don't tempt me, please. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Mary Hushford saying, first thing Jackson did when he arrived at Chelsea was watch a compilation. I can't speak. A compilation of Vernon's Morata on how to score at Chelsea. I think you're one of those people that will definitely go to hell. Ouch. 1K a second. Who timed who out? Seconds time out. Who timed who out? I don't know. Roger, so you keep selecting players that are completely off. So maybe we should just select players that have worked, and because we're not too sure of the others. I'm not too sure what to argue right now. So let's see any of the people that I haven't read their comments here. Leaky defenders are poor. Yep, I agree with that. Because I blame Poch. Okay, let's see. Tommy Bryan, big up coach and the partner, Jackson and Stalin. I prefer not to speak. Please don't speak. Please just do not speak. Roger out. Constantine Dante. I like that. Yeah, Roger. Let me celebrate that because I was jealous. Everybody was saying Merry Christmas to him in the morning. Nobody said anything to me. And Januel Bolandis said, you know what? The maddest thing is even if Stalin spread that ball, there's no guarantee they won't miss it. And I agree, Roger, but let me explain it first.
That's funny.
I love that. Oh,
yeah.
I love that, really. I don't mean to laugh, but if you don't laugh, you cry.
Exactly.
So Roger, that's the truth. There's no guarantee they'd score.
Yeah, that would be the icing on the cake, wouldn't it, really? That's a really good comment. That's funny.
That's a delicious comment indeed, and I enjoyed reading it. I cannot blame Mauricio. The boys gave everything, score has no experience. Pochettino, and then tomorrow he's gonna say I will succeed. Let him just stop talking. Even though I don't think it's again everything is his fault, but he should stop talking and be flip-flopping in his talk. Jackson has 8 yellow cards. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it is indeed, in my opinion. Let's see anything else I have to get here. Jackson going to AFCON for Senegal, where he's not even a starter, won't be a huge loss. He's not a starter for Senegal. Mudryk is currently in form. He should have started. I think I agree with that. And Nkunku's experience will make him a better starter. That Jackson, Broya, I think those players should be starting, in my opinion. I think I'm not going to get too much. I want to scroll to the very bottom. I've read quite a lot. That is quite errors on bad coaching. I don't think so. Do I think the manager has been perfect? I'd say no. This Chiku is not Chelsea quality. I'm not going to blame him for our loss. In all honesty, both goals conceded were individual errors, not from open play. If a goal is scored from open play, then it's a strictly tactical, and coach is to blame. But you cannot put the fault on manager. Roger will send you a check, Chimera. I can't believe you agree with Roger today, but that's just a simple truth, honestly.
Yeah.
So bad coaching cost Sterling to miss it, or to pass to his teammate. Roger is crying in his car. There you go. That's Chimera now speaking. Beyond agreeing with Roger, he said something else. I would have Coachella up front instead of Jackson, and believe me, I will score a few. But even though probably on that 3 minutes you have to take me off, because I'll be gasping for air, because I'm not sure how long I played a competitive football, in my opinion. Jackson, I don't know if he has the shooting boots for that. We'll find out. Stallings, no, don't do that. Roger, let's look at the numbers and see what we can learn from that. And nobody will see Jersey for a while. I'm quite sure that's going to be the case. I don't mean to laugh. The laugh isn't really a good laugh, in my opinion. Let's look at what we have here. Okay, the numbers say here. Okay, let's see. 2-1. You will know that. Where's the stats? Yeah, let's go with this one first, and we'll go for stats. Ball position is nothing for me. It just seems as every time we have more ball position than the opponent, we lose the game. Okay, here. 1.31 for them. XG for us 2.05. So that tells the story of how wasteful we were in front of goal. Total shots 14 of theirs and 16 of ours. Shots on target 5 of us and 6 of theirs. Big chances 2 of us and 3 of theirs. Big chances missed. We missed 1, they missed 2. And accurate passes, that doesn't matter really, because that aligns with you can say ball possession most of the time. Fouls committed 9 and 11 of theirs. Corners 6 of 10 of theirs. Yep. So I wouldn't say actually we deserve to win this game. The fact that we conceded up to 10 corner kicks.
Yeah, but we didn't deserve to. We should have at least drawn it, in my opinion. But given the
you could say that we didn't deserve to lose either, because we had many chances. But the stats tell us, we have no right to say that we deserve to win that one. The game was there was asked for the taking of the 3 points was asked to take. But Roger, let's hear you. What do you make of the numbers we looked at here? Sorry, you're not. You didn't say anything, because you usually say, "Coach, can you please put that on the screen?" But go ahead, Roger.
Listen, it's the same stats virtually every week. We either draw or lose a game when we have a better XG for the majority of the season.
It's a pattern to that, really.
Yeah, we lead the league in missed opportunities. So, sitters, it has to be addressed. But then again, we are conceding, we're leaking goals for fun. That has to be addressed. I don't know what to say. Listen, we're playing without our 2 superstar midfielders today, and yet we were still able to create chances.
Do as well as we did, especially in the first half, right?
Exactly. So I don't think that was the issue. Usually when you're not able to create chances, that's a coaching issue. That means your tactics or your formations, you're not doing something correct. That means you're not being wide enough or having overlapping runs, etc., etc. You're not able to break down teams. But this hasn't been the case, and guess what? It's the defensive side that worries me more than anything. Really, it does. It's pitiful. I don't know. I don't know how they address this, and it has to be addressed. But can I ask you a question, Coach? Going forward, what do you do with Jackson? What do you do with Sterling?
Bench. I'm going to explain this.
For how long? For how long?
Until maybe he starts seeing minutes here and there. Until whenever he comes on, if he proves he needs to be starting, then I'll give him a chance again.
Yeah.
At this point, Roger, give David Washington a chance.
Yeah, or
give him his highlights. believe me, he put away some of these chances these guys have missed.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And Cole Palmer, maybe we should start playing Cole Palmer but Nkunku is back. Nkunku should be starting in the number 9 position, whether in a hybrid approach or not. Jackson needs to see the bench. What's his name? Raheem Sterling needs to see the bench and come off the bench and then start showing you can perform consistently. Because Jackson, as much as I think he's still come good, I think it's gotten worse. Because the signs there are. Here's the thing: indecision, you can say, is the most pronounced sign that a player is going through a bad form.
Yeah,
or you can say a player has lost confidence. Indecision is the most pronounced telling sign that a player has lost confidence. And we've seen that severally from Jackson. That's not me saying he's a bad player. Why are you playing as a striker? Even if you just start playing, even you don't need to be a striker to know sometimes you just need to hit the ball one time.
Coach, we've been saying he's been played out of position. He's not a natural number 9. Well, guess what? He was a natural winger today, which is his supposed natural position.
He was worse than.
He looked worse than his number 9 position this whole season. So this does not look good for him at all. I honestly think he probably won't be, but I think he needs to be loaned out. I don't think he's good enough to play in the Premier League at this moment in time in his career.
I'm inclined to believe that's the case.
He just isn't.
Even if we argue that he will come good, I don't think we have the luxury to do that. Otherwise, we'll be fighting relegation.
Yeah, see, it's not just his inability to be clinical; it's the fact that he can't head the ball. But more importantly, he's Bambi on ice with the ball. He looks so non-technical. I got to admit, though, he does hold the ball up and flick on the ball. Did you notice that on several occasions?
He can be good on the ball on his thing, in my opinion. But go ahead, enough of that. He should be putting away chances.
He wasn't further up the field, but in the middle of the park, or closer to the halfway line, he did a couple of really good flick-ons, and he's always been good at that. So, but other than that, actually being clinical aerially and honestly, with his feet, he was horrible today, Coach. He was, on the side, high up on the line. He was just so poor. He was, I honestly, I don't think he's good enough to play for. I don't think he's good enough to play for any of the top 10 to 15 teams in the Premier League. Honestly,
maybe
he's not ready.
Later in his career, but right now I don't think he's ready for Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't think he is, honestly. Listen, we've seen 47.5% of the season and a few cup games thus far, and I think this is a large enough sampling size to come to the conclusion that you usually play, go in and out of form, but I'm sorry, he's not good enough currently speaking. That doesn't mean he can't be in the future, though. But right now,
he's still very young.
Yeah, it's just he's not good enough right now, currently.
Yes, people, let's give those in the chat the microphone. And Tiger Beast is in the chat, not on the panel today. Not able to make a coach. Traveling will get later. Okay, just a travel safe, brother. Just wanted to say, as Drover said, the system, the manager, the strikers, the players are all disgraced. So big up the Chelsea. Till next time. We must always support our club. But nice to see you all, Tiger Beast. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. This game is on Poch as much as anyone. Kachila, let me please enjoy my Christmas. I don't want to come online and cook with clear football reasons. Wow. So us will be yanning crap. And you as our boss will come on and talk sense into us. But enjoy your Christmas, bro. And I understand how you feel. We're all laughing about. For me, Christmas is ruined. Poch is rubbish. And that was a trash performance from Poch. Let's see what else we have here. I would have Roger in midfield over Ugochukwu.
Wow. That's bad.
Poch made Messi look like Ross Barkley. Even he made Neymar look like Mabeke. Wow. Actually, no way Conte will run these kids to the ground. But I think.
What did you think of Madueke, Coach?
I think he has it in him, and I'm not just going to judge him for manager bringing him to play just 10 seconds on the pitch.
But what did you think? He looked actually quite good.
Yeah, he was. Again, he came on late, but boy, he was one of our best players.
Yeah, and you know what? Notice the cross he put in with his right foot. It was a bullet, and yet guess what? No one bloody made the run to get on the end of it.
Yeah, believe me, I'm not going to judge the kid. The kid was good, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Even though he didn't play full time, but he did well. Let's
I
just
take
leave it
it.
at
I
that.
take him over
Yeah.
Sterling.
I'll take him over. Yeah, I agree with you. He's a kid, but there's a good player in him. He needs consistent game time. So
Sure.
keep choosing players that don't deserve it over others. Right now, honestly, Roger, I get it. The manager had to rotate, but the truth remains, I'd pick the performing players. Let's get the results first. We can't rest the whole 11. In my opinion,
but then
I
again,
would have gone with the players that performed in the last game. They're not going to die on the pitch. Get the result first. But go ahead, Roger, what you were saying.
But then again, if he does that and there's injuries because of overplaying, then what do you do? Do you understand? You have to rely on the players to execute, to do their job at a basic level, which they haven't done.
Yeah, it brings us back to execution still. But my point is,
and look,
yeah,
you're talking about Badiashile and Disasi, who have been our two best centre backs this season, in my opinion, and they played poorly today, Coach. They were responsible for multiple errors. That's what I don't get. Listen, it could be a one-off for them because they have played rather consistently quite well all season. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I was so shocked to see those two as the culprits for defensive errors. That's what shocked me. And Leslie, I can't blame him because he's played hardly at all and he's too young. He's not ready.
And that's an issue too.
Yeah, he's not ready. But then again,
and he just returned from injury also.
Yeah, and Poch didn't have much choice. Who else is he going to start?
Yeah, he had to play him. He had to.
Yeah,
he had to. But here's the thing: if I were Poch, I think Badiashile can play as a DM.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I can see Pep doing that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, sir.
Yeah, I can see Pep doing that because Badiashile is so good on the ball, reads the game so well. Playing him as a DM in this situation, I'd rather him start with Goalkeeper, given that Goalkeeper has been out injured. Has been out injured, but Poch thinks differently. Let's give those in the chat the microphone. We've addressed that one. Also, players don't give what again about Poch discipline. That's pretty evident. You could argue that, but here's the thing: kids will always be kids. It takes a while to get kids to develop a habit. I have 3, and I can, from that perspective, say that's the case. And my bro Matt, it's in the house. I appreciate you, Matt. Nice to see you. Probably emotions. Make sure you came out today to speak, but that's for you, man. Nice to see you. Poch is 80% to blame. Okay, wish you could elaborate because we like to have a good conversation. If you can elaborate, that will go a long way. No plan, no urgency, no plan. This reminds me of Lampard. Whether you think Poch is to blame for the issues we're having right now or not, I think what we're going through now doesn't differ that much to what we went through on the ground, Potter.
Yeah, listen, you've got Potter. So you got Tuchel, Potter, Frank, and now Pochettino. The common denominator is not the managers; it's the players.
It's a play, and you could argue, had it not been that we made too many changes, maybe by now we'd have improved.
Yeah.
But there's no way to tell. Big up, Matt. Matt, nice to see you once again, Matt. I hope you're doing well. Sterling was our best player in first half, but greedy and that stinker moment, that ruins everything. That's what everybody will remember of him today. Because it was unbelievable. Even my 7-year-old son, who understands football, was like, what? I said, that's it. You saw that. Yes, okay, we have to blame Sterling and Jackson for that, the misses there, whatever you call it. But it's the reaction and the fixes from Poch, which is horrendous. The subs came on with no plan. Here's the thing. No matter how you discuss it, I still go back to the fact that we had chances to put away you can say we had chances to had we been clinical, that had we been clinical, we'll be discussing a different outcome right now. Do I think Poch was perfect? No, there are still questions, but I need to watch the game again. And I've spoken about what things that I believe he could have or should have done differently. Gallagher in a lone DM on the yellow card was amateurish. That was risky too. But what else could the manager have done different? Maybe play. But we take him off so we don't risk missing him in our next game. Because the truth remains, hate him or you love him, he's been so important to the way the manager likes to approach the game that if he's not playing, we seem to struggle. Please try Badiashile as a DM right now. If it turns out that Casado won't be ready for the next game. Let's see what else we have. Matt saying subbing a right wing for a right wing game, bringing on a CB when we are down 1-0 and replacing him with the right back. Roger, I think I will come back with a question for that one there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Newman Ni Aule. Ni is usually a Ghanaian name, but nice to see you, Ni. To me, our head coach has been on a serious in many games, which has cost us many points. Why will he always sit and if he's in a comfortable lead, but only do this? The rest of what you said there. Roger, let's come back. Let's talk about the manager's substitution. Do you have issues with that?
Not really. Listen, the
Can
players
you elaborate?
didn't
Because
execute.
I think, do we really need defenders when we need more? But who did we have on the bench actually? But go ahead, let's hear you. Why you think he did well in terms of the substitution? I'm sure you saw Matt's complaints there. What's your response to that?
I get it, but guess what though? He's been Badiashile has been a decent defender for us. He made an error that led to a goal. Disasi made multiple errors that nearly led to a goal and was part of an error too. I'm sorry, it's the fact that we make errors that you're. I think this is conflating the issue. The fact is, there were errors based on a lack of execution that has nothing to do with the coaching staff. Do you understand? Players that were on originally and were substituted, and were substitutes, I should say, made errors. So what is one supposed to do? Also, these players didn't take their opportunities. This is not on the coaching staff. I mean, if you want to be pedantic, you can say he should have done this, should have done that. It wouldn't have changed the game, or we will never know, actually, obviously. But listen, had the players executed in their respective responsibilities, both defensively and offensively, we wouldn't be talking about that at all. It's that simple.
I honestly still think he didn't react well with how Wolves changed things around. I'm not sure how to explain it, but I didn't think he did, because we started well, and you could say the Wolves player that went down did that deliberately to give the manager a chance to change things around, because we were the better side for the first few minutes of the game, but he changed things around, and I think our manager didn't respond well in terms of their changing approach. And it started working after that player went down and the game resumed. We weren't able to do anything again until we made changes in the second half.
Yeah, that's because mostly also, don't forget, we weren't able to hold on to the ball, which is execution, coach. You know, it's just basic errors, just time and time again. You can say that we could have flooded the midfield and made adjustments and so forth. That could be true to a certain extent, but when the players are making basic mistakes by losing the ball, by how shall I put this, technical mistakes that lead to the opposition gaining possession and scoring, that has nothing to do with the coach. I don't know what more else I can say. It's that simple. He could have made the correct adjustment. He could have, and they still would have made errors. Do you understand? These errors are not. Why did we lose the game, coach? We lost the game because they scored more goals than us. And why did they score more goals than us? Because we made unforced errors. Why did we not score more goals than them? Because we didn't take our chances. This is the crux of the matter. Let's look at it analytically. You can, if you want to really do a deep dive, you can say that the coaching staff should have brought this player on. But then again, that still wouldn't have, shall we say, prevented these errors. It could have actually, well, we'll never know, but they could have made more errors. One doesn't know. Do you see what I'm saying? This game, the losing of this game was down to the players because of their lack of execution, the errors that they made. I don't think this has anything to do with the coaching staff.
Yeah, go ahead.
This has nothing to do with the coaching staff. I would say
Let me
if
say
it
this.
did. I don't have an agenda.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have an agenda with Poch. I like him, don't get me wrong. I think given the time he can succeed with Chelsea from what I've seen of him in the past. But if I thought that he was genuinely the issue, the problem, I would say so. I don't have an agenda with any player or any coach.
Listen, let's talk about Jackson. Finish. Did he? He was removed 88 minutes. I think he stayed too long.
Yeah.
So yeah, which means the manager made a mistake there.
Listen, who else are you going to put on?
I wouldn't mind that Justin Tin, even Palmer. Let's say we continue with 4-4-2. He comes up, and we bring on Matson. Matson can also then Palmer can go pair with Broya, and then
so you can critique the coach for actually playing Jackson and playing Sterling. I don't believe.
No, my point is he stayed too long, and if you agree that's the case, then the manager made a mistake in that aspect. Okay. So this is hindsight, coach. To be honest with you, you want to criticize the coaching staff. It's not for having Jackson playing too long. He should never have started. He's not good enough to play in the league, period. Okay, this is the crux of the matter. So if you want to criticize the actual administration of this team, then yes, that is a point. But then again, Nkunku's, I believe, good enough to play in this league. Madueke is an unknown commodity. You want to look at the forwards going there. It's Palmer, I think, is capable of playing this league. He looks very good. He looks like our best player. I don't believe Sterling is good enough to play for this team because he's so inconsistent. Mudryk is very raw, but I want to see him start. You can actually criticize Poch for doing these things, but then again, this is the crazy part of the season where you have to rotate. Do you understand? But I still, this is just my opinion. I don't believe. If I was the manager, I wouldn't be starting Sterling for the rest of the season unless there's injury, and I wouldn't be starting Jackson. They're just not good enough. Mudryk is probably not good enough also. Mudryk, in all likelihood, is not good enough at this moment in time in his career also. Same with Madueke. But they have an upside. They have the potential to be good. This is just the truth of the matter. Yeah. Let me get what we have in the chat here. Manager substitution is pathetic. Playing players in wrong positions. Oh my God! And why even play Jackson and Broya at the same time when Nkunku and Mudryk are available? A shame. I'm not sure. I think I expected Mudryk to start this game, and I'm not happy that he didn't start.
I don't think Nkunku could start. I mean, I don't think he's got the,
maybe because it's not up to him to decide that Nkunku couldn't start. Maybe it was the medical team said he's not ready to play 90 minutes or so. But here's the thing. I would have started Mudryk over, over Nicholas Jackson, actually. In my opinion, even Sterling or Sterling. Yeah. And so, for me, Jackson shouldn't have played up to 80 minutes given how awful he was. It was clear that he was low on confidence. Why leave him on the pitch for 80 minutes? I have to blame the manager for that. How long he stayed on the pitch, in my opinion.
But Jackson wasn't the reason why we conceded goals, though.
No, I agree. That's a different issue on its own. But I'm just still can say that everything we lost entirely because we missed chances. I'm not just going to leave it at that. We missed chances to make mistake at the back. And for me, in my opinion, the manager let Jackson stay too long. Let's talk about the game. Let's not about Roman right now. He's waffling. Here's the thing. Make your point, and I'll get your point. Don't blame anybody for their opinion. Express your own opinion. Let's hear you. How being a Chelsea fan of watch game like this, I agree. Completely agree with Roger's take that. Say it louder for the reactionary fanboys in the but no. But here's the thing. One thing I don't agree with Roger is to say the manager. He's not. He hasn't said that, but I'm saying the fact that Jackson stayed for 80 minutes, given how poor he was throughout the game, he has to answer for that. In my opinion, we had Maxson. I wouldn't mind even playing Maxson there, operating as a second striker. He can create a chance. He has good finishing in him, in my opinion. And JC is saying set piece defending is coaching. Yeah, we agree to that. Roger is looking for a lawyer's job. But go ahead, Roger, if you have anything to say with regards to that.
No, because their execution, their technical mistakes, passing back or losing the ball, not setting your feet correctly. It's like these are schoolboy errors, chaps. These are professionals. They should be able to do this at a fundamental level. Do you understand? You marking someone that never gets off the ground and heads the ball in within the 6-yard box. I'm sorry. It's
all right. No, you don't have to be sorry. We're here to have a conversation. We're all entitled to our respective opinions. Right?
These are fundamental errors.
Yeah, go ahead. You were you still speaking?
These are fundamental errors, coach. And it's from execution. It's like coaching. Yes, and you know what? Yes, I understand. They're very youthful. They're young, and this probably is the main reason why they're not ready to play in the league. It's the team is too youthful. It's the third youngest team we played this season in any match.
And has anybody seen Jerry Z? Tell him we're looking for him. And please keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. We had 90 plus people watching, and we have just 65 likes. That's shameful anyway. We cannot even beat Wolves at this point. Just sell the players and dissolve the club. Wow. We wouldn't be able to beat Middlesbrough in the Carabao Cup. I think we'll beat them. Hopefully the manager learns this lesson. Just start players. Let's just win. When the players tired, then make changes. The rotation for me becomes secondary from what I've seen so far. Let players that are performing start the games. If Poch needs hindsight to make changes, somebody tell him, please, that game already finished. That's what else we have here. People have short memories. The Jackson Brewer selection, most fans were calling for a change a few games ago. Also, they played okay last game with Jackson on the left. Don't blame Poch. Wasteful play. That side I agree. We were wasteful. We made defensive errors, but I still have to blame the manager has to bear some blames for me. In my opinion, my personal opinion, Jackson shouldn't have lasted 18 minutes. And also, Mihailo Mudryk should have started over even Nicholas Jackson, in my opinion, or starting. But that's just my opinion there. This says, can Poch even spell Mudryk? I don't know. I'll find out for you. We're all sad. For me, Christmas is done. That's a lot a coach can do. Poch has no idea what to do. Very evident in that last 15 minutes. And I'm going to say this, actually. I get it, Roger disagrees. I get it. As much as I agree that we were wasteful, we made defensive schoolboy errors, I still say he had no answer when Wolves started playing. He had no answer, but that's my opinion. The club recruitment policy is the issue. Poch is trying his best with what he has. We are where we are. We should have been 3-0 up, and that's believable too. And that's because we created chances and we didn't put them away. And you could take it back to the recruitment team not recruiting the right profile of players, good players that are good enough to play for Chelsea. I don't know. And we think it'd be okay to sign Osimhen, and then in January he goes for AFCON. Yeah. And so look, Will Nixon Look, you can argue we weren't able to do anything properly in the midfield because Casado didn't play and Enzo Fernandez didn't play. That's to show you we don't have the luxury to sign any player that will live for AFCON. As much as I want us to sign Osimhen, even if he misses just 1.5 games. But I think Constantine has done his research and he believes he will miss just a single game, I think. Or a game that you could say, even if we sign him in his absence, we'll still win that game. Noni and Mudryk are definitely not good enough. I don't agree. You're talking about the players that played like they want to win the game today, actually. I take back Willian over both. I would do that too, but right now, those two players are good enough. They just need to play consistently. And it'd be unfair to start judging Mudryk based on 15 minutes here and there. And in those cameos, he's actually done well. And I think Kinky should start, and should start not only as his agent to complain, but also needs a crowd helper to so that someone can help Poch. I'm not sure what to make of that. Let's see if you actually rewatch how we considered the first goal. Leslie, who's barely used, didn't jump to clear that ball, even though he's tall enough to settle the guy. Had he made the effort to do so, not anyway related to coaching. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Yeah, not jumping, not attempting to unsettle the guy with that you're supposed to be marking. That has nothing to do with the coach. Maybe you can argue he's rusty for having not played for a while and just coming back from an injury. It could be anything, but I don't know. Most of interventions, Poch made us worse. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I want to see the numbers here. Concerning numbers, I have to say Nkunku came on and got a rating of 7.5, and well deserved. He did so well, better than those that stayed for 80 minutes on the pitch in just a few minutes of him being on the pitch, in my opinion. So I'm not sure. Ugochukwu, for me, I wouldn't say no, he wasn't bad. He did well enough. I think the issues we experience are well beyond, you can say, the level that he could have done anything to be the one to make a difference, in my opinion. But let's look at, I want to see Raheem Sterling's numbers. He actually has a good number, 7.3. But boy, I'd give him a -5 because of that poor decision making there. I'm not too sure what to make of whose numbers, which of the players that I should start looking at. We were that bad. But right now, while I wait for Roger to come back, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. And yeah, we do. I do my best to try to answer your question, but you know I don't know everything, and my answers will probably be based on my opinion, if that makes sense. Let's see what else we have here. Merry Christmas. About enjoy your Christmas. That is, if you're able to do so. For me, Christmas is dead. Coach, that's how Poch selects a team like you have on your on your screen. Always the ones in green. I'm not too sure where I need to watch that game again, and I'm quite sure if I rewatch the game, I will learn quite a lot from that. Roger, if you're back, I've seen an unread message there, which probably means that you're back and ready to speak. Let's hear you, Roger. Any of the players here you'd like us to look at their numbers? And shocking, your cousin got 7.3. In my opinion, I'd give him a minus for that. If I don't
That's
know.
a joke.
But any player here you'd like us to look at their number?
Not really.
Or if you have anything else you want to speak about, you go ahead.
Yeah, I just think it was a collective failure on so many levels. You know, it's disappointing game because of the fact we could have won this game, just like most of our losses or dropped points, games that we didn't get maximum points. It's the same recipe for disaster, isn't it, really? Gifting our opposition goals or opportunities and us not converting. Listen, we lead the league in missed opportunities for, for obvious goal scoring opportunities. I mean,
That is talent.
yeah, we lack someone being clinical. I'll be honest with you. What did I take away from this game that I found positive? One was Nkunku's ability to score. Yes, he was not challenged, but it was technically a very good header. You know, he had to use a lot of his neck muscles. I can't see most
And
other
I'm going to say
players.
this: Jackson would have missed that chance.
Yeah, it would have come off his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is a highlight, and you have to give Sterling credit. That was a nice cross he made, actually, to be honest with you. So,
So that's probably why he got a high rating of 7.3.
Yeah, probably. I would say so. Listen, Gallagher had a very poor game. I defend him often, but he had a very poor game. He lost possession quite often.
But he was excellent in the first half, really.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, I'm very disappointed with Palmer. With his lack of discipline, kicking the ball away. Same with Gusto. This has to stop. And that's a coaching. This is a coaching issue, coach.
It's him, it's Gusto, it's Nicholas Jackson, all of
them.
them.
Yeah. It's the norm, and this has to stop because now it's going to cost us. Now versus Palace, we will not have Palmer. Why? Because you are not able to be disciplined by not kicking the ball away. It's juvenile. It's immaturity. That has to stop. So, but the positives, I actually thought our keeper played well for the most part. I really did.
He was the reason we didn't concede more, actually.
Yeah,
it'd be easy to say, yeah, he should be saving those. No, but he did well.
No. Listen, this is first league start in a hostile environment, correct? Because his first at the start was in the cup, if I'm not mistaken. So I thought he acquitted himself rather well when you consider his age and inexperience playing in this league. It's a hard league, coach, to play in. So I thought he did well. When he was called upon, he saved. His distribution was pretty good too. If you notice, there's one thing I've noticed in the 2 games he started, that he doesn't invite pressure by trapping the ball and then passing it
unnecessarily.
Yeah, unlike his predecessor Sanchez, he boots it straight away. He doesn't invite the pressure, and that's a sign of maturity beyond his years. So that's one thing I wanted to say. What else was there? Madueke. I know it's a very small cameo. It's very small. What minute did he come on? Like the 80th, give or take, somewhere around there.
Let's see, but he did well. It's not a Madueke, 64th minute.
Oh, really? I thought it was later than that. To me, he actually
64th minute. That's what I have my glasses on, so I'm quite sure I'm seeing that quite well.
Yeah, it could have been the 84th, right? But the 6 and the 8s killed me. But yeah, I thought he looked very good. He was aggressive. He was like Sterling in the first 15 minutes, able to take people on.
He pushed to make things happen. When there's no space, he tried to dribble and make. Yeah, go ahead.
He's left-footed, heavily left-footed, and yet he can cross the ball when getting to the byline, cross it with the right foot, as we talked about in pre-season. He's done that for England time and time again, and he's not one-dimensional in that regard. That's why I like him, But having said that, the knock on him is he doesn't track back and he's not very good defensively. That will come in time. He's a fetus. So those are the 2 positives that I came away from this game. But there were so many negatives. I'm sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm just being honest with you. There was just too many mistakes.
I'm not arguing against that, but go ahead. What you're saying. Just whenever you're done, just let us know which of the players you'd like us to look at their numbers.
Sure. Actually, I'm interested in seeing Gallagher's because I thought he had a very poor game. I want to see whether those stats back it up.
Yeah, he started well, but I think he finished badly.
I thought he played poorly generally.
Yeah, we will look at these numbers in a bit. Let's catch up with a few things we have here in the chat. And I've shared the link to the panel. If you want to come express yourself, say it how you see it. Come on. What can I just want to see your face a few seconds, even if for 10 seconds. So if you have do anything malicious, we'll be able to track that, see who did it. We usually don't share links in the chat because we've seen people come onto the panel for some of my fellow content creators and play X-rated sounds on there and got their channel suspended for a while.
Wow.
What can we do? What can be done about Sterling? Poch clearly rates him, and the only way he's dropped is if Nani and Mudryk ball out every match instead of ghosting Heston. He misses the next game, except if Chelsea. If we what's the language I'm looking for? Should I say protest the yellow card? I don't know if that's the correct term to use. And but if we don't, he's not going to play next game, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Roger. No one could have not won this game. Yeah, and that's the link. Also, if you want to come onto the panel, feel free. Try just be on the camera for a few seconds so we can ID you and then you speak. Yeah, let's see what else we have. You keep dropping the lights on the stream. And Gabriel is saying, I agree with Roger. We've dropped so many points when we should have won. So maybe we should be more direct. It's just maybe let teams come at us. I think we have the quality to hit our teams on a break and score. And there's a pattern to that, actually. The games we've won, you can say at least 60-70% of those games, we had more possession. We had less possession, so to speak. But the games we've lost, nearly all of them, we played with the better side, more XG, more ball and everything, and we end up losing those games. So yeah, it makes sense. Sterling's cross was lucky. I mean, given how bad he can be, it's agreeable, but he has an assist. It's actually hit the defender's start. That's why that's why he stood like in the air. Okay.
Oh, really? Was it deflected?
That's what he said. That's what Constantine is saying there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Let's see. I think the yellow card affected Gallagher's performance. Maybe that may well be the case. Definitely an attitude problem with all the young players. Listen, say what you like. Kids will always be kids. Yeah. You see this disjointed displays, especially because we have an entirely new team. You see lack of the ability to control games. And Roger, there's something else I saw from Levi Cowell that I'm going to talk about in a bit. I hope I remember. The discipline will not stop. Ill-discipline issue will not stop because there's no consequences for the individuals. Yeah, maybe.
But that's the coaching.
And we don't have the luxury to drop players due to lack of discipline. Go ahead, Roger. You were saying something.
No, actually, you can discipline them. You can fine them. You can fine them.
That's another way.
Yeah, you know what? Hits it where it hurts. You know, and once these players start to return from injury, you can say, you know what? Not only are you going to get fined, but you're not going to be starting. You know, you've got to stop this. You know, it's this simple. It's unacceptable what Palmer and Gusto did today. It's just basic. You know, you're hurting the team.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a team sport.
You can argue maybe Roger, he hasn't disciplined down because he doesn't have the luxury to do so. If he decides to drop a player because of ill discipline, who comes in?
Yeah, possibly. I get it. I get it. But it is the coach's fault, though. I mean, it's a responsibility, I should say, to instill discipline, to instill a mindset that, you know, you obey and respect the officials, etc., by not kicking the ball away, etc. You give the officials no option when you do things like that. And that, to me, that is what you can definitely blame on the coaching staff.
Yeah, I do agree with you. And Gabriel is saying, I'm surprised with Poch being known as a hard man defender. You'd think the players would be whipped into shape if any attitude issue arises. Hesitant, if any attitude issues arise, so to speak. Hesitant, I'm not sure what to say right now. I'm not sure what. If you don't cry, if you don't laugh, you cry. Hesitant, I'd say I'm not sure. We talked about the Gakon, whatever you called it at the time, but I'm just gonna move on. I want to ask Roger a question. Poch will still play Sterling even if it's suspended.
Yeah, good point.
Oh my God. I like that one.
That's the second good comment you've made. So that's excellent.
Oh, I think I'm going to use that as a tweet today.
Yeah, no kidding.
He would just put him as a 16-year-old debutant, just change his hair and everything, and he'll be all right. Let's see. Let me ask you this, Roger. There's something I saw that Levi Colwell did, which somebody just don't suspend the Tottenham man in the chat there. Just let him know how much of a small club they are, and when last did they win a trophy, and when they had the chance to win one, you can say the curse led them to firing the manager that could have won them a trophy 2 days, or actually a day before the final. I'm not sure what they were thinking. And the manager you can see he had a dig at them. That he was coaching a club that had empty trophy room. That's the way Mourinho said it. And you have the gut to come here to say that's our level. Start by winning the Premier League, even the FA Cup or anything, Club World Cup, then we'll talk. Right now, I don't want to talk with you as a sports fan. You're not at the same level as us, so we don't even need to have a conversation with you. Here's the thing I want to talk here. Want you to talk about, Roger, is this. Levi Colwell lost the ball, and he did not even make an effort to go recover it, let alone not being able to do it. He turned around like, and actually faced the other way. And a few players behaved in the manner that I started questioning, do these guys really want to be here? Did you see that, Roger? I'm quite sure it wasn't just me.
No, I don't recall, but I'm going to watch the game again tonight.
Yeah, you see that point where I mentioned where Levi Colwell lost. I think he lost the ball, or maybe had an opportunity to do something. He just turned around like, oh, what is going on here? And actually faced the other way for a bit. That's
unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
Yeah. And momentarily at that point, and if you're in the chat, let me know if you recall the incident.
Yeah, what minute was this? Was this first half, second half?
I think we were. Was it first half?
I don't recall any of it.
We're playing from right to left at the time. I think it was in the first half, or maybe I can't quite remember. But if you're watching, let me know if you paid attention to the incident that I'm explaining, where Levi Colwell didn't even make an attempt to go recover the ball. He just turned around, and I think a few players within that particular time frame acted like it's over. We've lost this one. Just watch it again, Roger. That wasn't a good sign. Yeah, I was like, what's going on here? For a few seconds, or let's say up to nearly a minute, our players acted like it's over. We're done. Just blow the whistle. If you're watching, let me know if you witnessed that incident. Win something, then talk. Yeah, tell him that. Game would have been ended in a draw if Pochettino didn't break that. It's going to be a long wait. Let's hear if anybody. It was in the second half. He was subbed shortly afterwards. So maybe that infuriated the manager. I'm just speculating right now, but I have to watch it again. But Roger, if you see that incident, you're not going to believe it.
Yeah, I didn't notice it, to be honest with you.
I was like, what is going? And it wasn't just him. And I'm quite sure had the manager, if the possibility was there for the manager to substitute multiple players, he could have done that, because they all sucked momentarily. They all sucked and was like, they didn't want to be fair.
It was a collective.
Yeah, but Levi Colwell, he stood out because he gave up and turned around and faced the other direction. I couldn't believe it.
To be honest with you, the amount of errors that was precipitated in the second half, it was a snowball effect. And you know what? This is an indication of a lack of discipline, but B, the fact that this showed the youth that we have, because a senior team doesn't do this. A well-drilled, disciplined senior team, they've been there, they've done it before, they've seen it all. These people look like they were in over their heads at times, their body language. So maybe that's just that it's not so much inexperience, it's the lack of leadership all over the field, coach. We talk about this week in, week out. Yeah, you've got Gallagher to a certain extent, and you've got obviously Silva, of course.
But those aren't seasoned leaders.
Yeah,
Except Silva.
yeah, exactly. You look all over the pitch everywhere else, and guess what? That you go back 4 or 5 years ago, for the last 20 years, for the most part, Coach, we've had leaders in every position, and we're talking captains of their national
the defense,
team,
in the midfield, everywhere. You can say, let's just simplify it, Roger. We have character in every position. But right now, we don't even have enough characters, let alone leaders. But continue with what you were saying.
Yeah, we have a lack of character. That's very well put. And it shows. When you captain your country, Coach, whether it's a small or a big country, that's a source of pride. That's a very invaluable asset you have. And you can look all over the pitch when we were in our heyday, and we had so many national captains. And look who was our club captain for over a decade, was JT. He would never tolerate that.
Even at Spliqueta, I don't think would tolerate that.
No, not at all.
He's not the most vocal, but I'm quite sure he'd say something.
Oh, yeah.
He led by example too.
Aspie was a great club captain. Unbelievable. Different kind of leader to JT. And then, don't forget, you're missing Reece. You're missing your vice captain. And this doesn't help. I'm not using an excuse. I'm just saying that if that's actually the case where you're seeing that, I'm pretty sure Chilwell wouldn't tolerate that. He'd get in your face. And Reece would to a certain extent. But I think he garners more respect that they wouldn't do that. And this is symptomatic of having such a youthful squad, Coach. I mean, listen, the people that are coming on, they're not exactly 28, 29-year-olds, 30-year-olds. No, these are youthful individuals.
And we don't see, they don't even have leadership quality in them, because we've seen, you and I know there are young players, players from a very young age. You see, for instance, Ethan Padu, as much as we saw them, he can lead a team.
Yeah.
Very vocal and everything. But go ahead with what you were saying, Roger. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is symptomatic. If that is the case, and I did notice the body language, because if you noticed at that time in the second half,
and you see, it wasn't just me. I'm happy. Just quickly, Roger. Sorry, someone else said yes, he saw it, and he was shocked immediately after that. And Constantine Dante, yes, Cowell, I saw that. He saw that too. But go ahead, Roger.
I didn't, so I'll watch it again. But did you notice that span of 10, 15 minutes, give or take, where we were just making error after error? To me, that's the scariest part of the game to me, because it was just non-stop. Some of it was forced errors, some of it was not. You could tell that these are schoolboy errors. I keep on mentioning this term, meaning it's so basic, and it was a snowball effect. It really was, and that doesn't happen when you've got leaders on the field.
Yeah, it doesn't, because you see them. You have one of your teammates scream at you.
Yeah.
If you were asleep, you'd wake up.
Or you give them positive reinforcement, saying, "Shake it off.
Exactly.
Don't worry. I've got your back. Don't worry. Just shake it off." But you didn't see any of that, probably, and that's an indictment on the fact that they're so youthful.
That's one mistake, and it trickles down to everyone else.
Yeah, it was a simple fact, and you can't blame these players for not having experience. It's not their fault in that regard, when it's across the board. But if I'm not saying it didn't happen, Coach, so please don't misinterpret that. But if this did indeed happen, and I will see it again, then that's a damning indictment on the players, and I think it needs to be addressed by the coaching staff. Collectively and individually, they need to sit down with each player and review the tape and say, you know what you're doing here is unacceptable. Then have a team meeting and say, without pointing fingers, address these things, like kicking the ball away, like turning your back on a play, etc. Whatever transpired. I think I'm not saying this is panic mode, but I believe that I think the coaching staff need to address the team and do what you would call a soft reset. Does that make sense? I believe, because we are not fulfilling our potential. If you notice, with the exception of 1 or 2 games, we have created enough chances to win or at least draw. but that hasn't been the case. We've lost quite a few, or we've dropped
And
points and drawn.
here's where we're in trouble, Roger.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I wouldn't say we're in trouble. You could say, because the
Oh,
owners are numbers.
Coach, we're in trouble, Coach. Shut up. We're in trouble. Don't
Yes,
try and butter it up. We're in trouble.
That's what I wanted to say. The fact that the owners are numbers people, if they look at it and see, you know where I'm going with that, and see that we're actually creating chances. The issues we've heard is that we haven't actually put away chances. Poch keeps his job. No matter, he would take a lot for him to lose his job. But go ahead with what you were saying, Rosa.
Yeah, but these owners, they don't count sheep when they try to go to sleep. They count matrices, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are numbers, guys. Pure and simple. Yeah, I agree with you. Listen, I feel honestly that I believe that this season, to prevent it going downhill even more, I think the coaching staff need to address these players, because I think this was the first time we've seen this season that there was an influx, just a snowball effect of errors. It looked bad, Coach, and I think this needs to be addressed behind doors.
I'm going to ask you this question, Roger, but let me come back first. And the question is, so I don't forget, is that, do you sense it that low confidence is creeping in? But I'll come back to you in a bit. Yes, Coach, I saw that. That freaked me out. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. But usually something like that doesn't happen without me paying attention to it beyond everything else. And Jackson says the rich money makers, but nice to see you. And Constantine then says that didn't even know Cowell was playing till you saw that. That shocked me. Maybe I need to see it again. But momentarily, at that point, like a few seconds or up to a minute, the whole Chelsea, less of from the midfield down to defense, looked as if like they were saying, "What are we doing here?" It was like as if a rapture took place and some of them missed out. I couldn't believe it, Roger. You will see it. I hope. Oh my God, Coach! The players didn't want to play. I mean, you could argue that I blame the Premier League for putting this game up. No. They get paid a lot. I've worked for a company when I was still a student. I've worked for a company where I worked Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the next day, a shipping company, and also worked on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So as long as you're getting paid, do what you're asked.
Yeah,
you cannot be making some millions per year and be prioritizing your holiday over your performance. It just doesn't make any sort of sense, in my opinion. I don't blame them in any way. They don't have the mentality. These players will sack even Carlo Ancelotti when how badly they played. The Sassi and Silva are the only with monster mindset. Yeah, two of them. Yeah, they have that aggression in them. The problem, Chelsea signed and that's Mr. Oliver there, because Arsenal want to sign that player because Liverpool wants to sign players. Yet those players are not doing well. That's some argument right there. We have had too many captains. It cheapens the role. I think you could argue that's the case. In all honesty, it doesn't look like as if it's an important role anymore. No one that will look a bit leaderless on the pitch. You could argue, but let's say breaking news. I had to tell you guys that the players have fallen out with Poch. It's believable given what we saw today, but I hope that's not the case. Somewhere Chelsea lost today is a Christmas dinner topic. Some poor CFC fans are going to sit it down with no CFC fans. Yeah. I know every time my friend Chelsea loses a game, I get my friend saying, "Hey man, how are you doing today?" I know they want to start a conversation, but I'll just shut off my phone. We had better players than Jackson. We would have scored, and Sterling don't trust them, but those players wanted to leave. I am 20 today. It's my birthday. Happy birthday to you, John.
Hey, happy birthday.
Ross. We celebrate with you and here's for your birthday. And when we celebrate with you today, you become a year older. Congratulations. Unfortunately, if you're a Chelsea fan, don't let them ruin it for you. Enjoy your day. Roger, I am losing my patience with Poch, and the players are not giving their 100%. Here's the thing. I'm going to say what I've said before. as long as I believe he's not been perfect, I will wait for all the players, important players to come back. I also count Kanye Chukwuemeka because he's an excellent player. Romeo Lavia right now is ready. Nkunku is ready. Just Rhys James. And then I'll wait and see how he does. Then I'll start judging him. And when I do that, I don't look back. That's because I've seen enough. But right now we don't have enough. Yeah.
The
ahead,
Newcastle game, they looked
Mhm.
very much a unit. They played. There was emotion. I thought that this was galvanizing the team. So to have
Yeah.
today's performance is quite a shock. So I'm not sure whether Poch has lost the team, the locker room, however you want to term it.
But I'm not going to go to that extent.
Yeah. If anything, if you want to criticize anyone, I think the on-field captain, I don't think led by example. I think he should have done a bit of a John Terry, and that didn't take place by the looks of it.
Yeah, wake players up.
Yeah, because that's your responsibility as a captain on the field. If you see something awry, and if he didn't see it was awry, then that means that I don't believe he should be wearing that captain's armband.
I don't believe that either.
But then again, who could though? Who could though, apart from Silva?
I'd rather give it to Thiago Silva.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
Yeah, give him that added responsibility. I think he would ginger the players even
maybe in Nkunku also, maybe.
Yeah, maybe in Nkunku,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that's all I can think of. The goalkeeper is like what? 12
I don't
years
like
old?
the goalkeeper being the one to be
Hey. No.
There's the chairman of the goalkeepers union.
But seriously though, there's not too many candidates, is there? I can only think of Silva and Nkunku that is worthy of wearing that armband. If Gallagher cannot motivate his teammates, because that's part of the responsibility as a captain to basically eradicate any negative body language or anything. He needs to put them into shape. Hopefully that no matter who is it, whether it's the manager or Gallagher or whomever, hopefully that the paint on the walls are peeling off from the bad language being used, the shouting, because they need to be addressed. They need to be told how poorly they played today. They should, to be honest with you, they shouldn't be paid for today. Most of their salary should be withheld and given to children's charity.
In all honesty, I think they should. Hi guys, the fans have all texted Joe Shields about sorting this out. Let's see what he does. Coutinho putting lipstick on Donkey doesn't make it beautiful. We are in major trouble. I agree, but it can be sorted out. I think we have a good enough squad, but something isn't quite right. What it is specifically, let's start by saying we've not been clinical. The players didn't want to play. It seemed you could argue that incident that I talked about. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Tango Reno, nice to see you. Like we used to watch this season. If players cannot convert the chances, they will be punished by the opponent not too long after that. Yeah, I agree with you. But nice to see you, Tango Reno. Merry Christmas if you celebrate that, even though there's nothing merry about this particular Christmas. Because we're Chelsea fan. He doesn't know his trolling an agenda. That's what else we have. And Nkunku could have scored 2 goals today, and he did more than Jackson. In just a few minutes that when he came on. Okay.
He was a huge upgrade, coach. He was a big upgrade.
He was in so many ways. Okay, James, I am going to sleep. A busy day tomorrow. I understand I still have to go for shopping with my wife. But thank you to all of you for finding the time to join us on the panel. Roger, I cannot thank you enough. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Anything else you want to say? Let's call it a day, Roger.
Yeah, I just want to say I hope you and everyone else seriously have wonderful holidays. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Even though it's a difficult one.
Yeah, it is. We have to realize that this is only a sport, but enjoy your time with your families, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Roger. But your daughters are in Los Angeles. Angeles, except if they travel to the UK, correct me from Rome.
No, she's in San Diego, yeah. And my son's in the San Francisco Bay Area.
But Roger, again, I hope they enjoy their Christmas, and I hope you enjoy your Christmas too with the family members you have there in the UK. And to all of you, I'm Constantine Dante. Much love to you. Enjoy your Christmas, everyone. Chimera, all of you enjoy your Christmas. Gabriel A. Rich Money Makers, all of you. Tangorido. And if I miss your name, apologies. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And bye.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers to you too, Roger.